Hey there, welcome back to Reddit Stories, Cookie Edition. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more Reddit stories. Wife of 6 years had 6-month affair with ex and destroyed our relationship. What a wild train trip it has been. I'm 33 and now going through a difficult divorce, and felt I should share my experience to assist process the numbness and grief I feel and assess how this train wreck transpired. Me and my wife were colleagues for a period 9 years ago. From the minute we met, we were incredibly drawn to one another, sparks flew and we hit it off instantly. I dated around a decent lot in my earlier 20s, but there was something different with her that made me feel comfortable and happy. After many years of dating and living with one other, we decided to be married. I remember even at the moment I proposed, it didn't seem right. We had an open relationship largely because she desired that lifestyle and sadly went along with that trip. Never marry in a polyamorous relationship. Things certainly began altering shortly after our marriage. With our open marriage, we established the barrier. We'd only have fun with mutual pals and chat about agreements ahead before. Right before we purchased our house, my wife stated she spent a night with her former lover and also afterwards revealed there was no protection. I was heartbroken. That's when all the trust went overnight, and even though I still loved her, I didn't feel respected anymore. I chose to place the property exclusively in my name. We purchased the home before we were married, but this comes into play later in our divorce proceeding. I continued to develop in my work and being the breadwinner and felt my wife was content. Slowly, the bedroom fun began to seem like a job and could tell she was tuning out. I should also say my wife had a very high body count of males prior to our relationship. 2 years ago, shortly after the pandemic began, she yanked the rug from under me and made me know she wanted to break away from me, that she wasn't worried providing for herself. She hired a spiritual coach and felt she could recreate the same kind of achievement right immediately. Fast forward to now, she is still striving to establish her coaching company. Yay, being independent isn't that simple, hun. Also doesn't feel very good with all the demasculating and treating me like trash while I continued to financially support her. She utilized much of emotional manipulation to have me continue give and pay for her lifestyle. She encouraged me to sleep in different bedrooms. I did it to give her the space she claimed she needed. I definitely should have booted her out of the home at that time. About a year ago, she reunited with the ex-boyfriend she had the affair with. To add on to the anguish I was already experiencing, she chose to commit into a relationship with him, even with us still married. Looking back, I feel totally disgusted with myself for not standing up for myself back then and continuing to let it. As a result, she would often provide me love and intimacy here and there in order to keep me unaware of any of my dignity or self-respect, and I would play along in order to gain any kind of connection to her. I was utterly sucked in, and she became my whole universe. The turning point came last spring when I took her on a week-long vacation to Hawaii. It was the last-ditch effort I could muster to win her back. We even had a professional picture session done for us as a couple, and we had a very good time together. I could see, though, that she was still enthusiastic about her AP. She expressed her dissatisfaction with her AP not even a day after we returned from our excursion. Once again, I was incredibly upset that she would so casually throw away the time and energy that we had just invested in one other's company. This is where I began my journey to reclaim my self-respect and dignity. I made the decision to play up to my image and attempt to walk away from the situation as unharmed as I possibly could. I divorced her. It should come as no surprise that she and her partner chose to move in together during the summer. This is the point at which I confessed to my wife that I desired an uncontested divorce. So I typed out the requirement that I get the complete equity in the property, my bank accounts, and retirement funds. She accepted without a word of hesitation. We had another weekend of vacationing with her AP before I allowed her a week to decide, and she signed the stipulation in front of a notary public on the same day I filed the paperwork. Eventually, she ended up going out to the bar with her AP and dressing up for him and having another personal experience with him, maybe as a token of her appreciation. That's right, I definitely felt like a respected spouse. My wife was unable to get lodging with her AP as initially intended 3 weeks after applying. Now that she has realized her dilemma, she has filed a move with the court to have our agreement dismissed and to have the case sent to mediation. It's strange, isn't it? After that, I hired an attorney, and we went through a series of hearings with the courts. My wife never hired an attorney, and I think she did, so because she believed her spiritual beliefs informed her she didn't need to worry about anything like that. Sadly, it turns out she lost her case, and she then attempted to file an incorrect second move with her newly hired counsel, which she also lost a few weeks later. She has now filed an objection with the court, which will be considered by the judge. My attorneys are optimistic that the objection will be overruled as well, and that the final divorce papers will be signed as a result. I've accrued around $10,000 in legal expenses, but my wife has accrued a significant amount of fees as well, and she may be able to request that my fees be reimbursed if I win, but I will most likely prefer to pay my own fees anyway. It almost seems too ludicrous to be real when you write it all out like this. The best I can do right now is to endure the present by remaining focused on my profession and attempting to enjoy the piano and my other interests so that I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't help that my wife sometimes expresses a desire for me to return, but the past is just too difficult to reconcile with now. I am certain that I will find another spouse who will love and respect me, but for the time being, I am immobilized and heartbroken by this experience. Ultimately, I just want to go on with my life, and maybe one day I'll look back and chuckle at how ridiculous everything was. The universe has a unique method of unfolding its storyline. I'm hoping that karma turns out as planned. Now, look at some comments. Yes, you will find someone who lives you once this is done. She is a manipulator. Once she loses in front of the judge and the reality of what happens sinks in, she will try to manipulate you again. Stay strong and go after her to pay your fees. Shot $10K for the hurt she has caused you is nothing! Stay strong and remember, you took her to Hawaii and less than one day back she yearns for her AP. Tell her the spirits say she will get hers in the near future! Best OP reply. Thanks, yeah, I definitely let her manipulate me, no question. She is also a narcissist, so she's going to be if the judge decides to have her pay up. At least I know what's been missing in order to enjoy a fulfilling relationship, but will take a lot of work on myself first. Breaking away from the codependency is not easy. First of all, I must say that I find all these spiritual coaches and books spirituality cannot be found in paper or some guru but around you, in experiences and in the most unexpected of places. 2ndly. I have met a few genuine polygamous couples and I have seen how tight they are. They are attached to the hip, and one can clearly see that their main so are their priority. They always come back home at the agreed time or earlier, jump on their spouses to share and continue. Most of the self-proclaimed polygamous people are imposters who want to keep eating their cake. As far as suggesting something to you, no, you are doing everything right, and you must continue doing so. All the best. The best thing that happened for you in this whole fiasco is 1. You decided to put the house in your name only. 2. While she was in the limerence or affair fog, she gave you everything you needed and really deserved. Maybe it was the spirits or destiny working things out correctly for the hardships you faced, for the way she manipulated and unjustly used you the wrong way. The spirits of you will definitely did, in fact, compensate by rendering in your favor in the divorce. There's no doubt about that. I totally agree with what others are saying about making her pay the $10K for your attorney fees. It's only fair for what she did. In spite of how she misrepresented the spirits, if she looks at it correctly, she got justice in the way in. Workout. Please follow the advice recommended and you'll do fine. It'll all go your way once you begin to move forward. Don't enter into a polyamory, it's not for you. So glad how things worked out for you. I hope she sees the light. She didn't get away with anything. Make her pay. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories.